What happens when you take a whole chicken, pack it full of mashed potatoes, top it full of gravy, insert some corn, then deep fry it? You've got yourself a meal. The all-new stuffed Pollo Toto Frito, now at Cluck and Bell. The meal in one just got massive. Cluck and Bell.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 8 of the Guides of the Galaxy. I almost said theme park talk thanks to Peps with his Iron Gwazi situation. Guides of the Galaxy video game talk, episode 8. Yes, we are here. Peps has thrown me off with his cup, and I'm all disheveled. But come on in, hop in the chair, hop in the bed, take a seat, relax, hop in, put in a video game. Yeah, hop in bed, put in a video game, play some Fortnite.
Go drive to work or something.
Drive to work, play some GTA, do something like that. This is a video game podcast, so yeah. So
I can't take you serious with your picture right now with it saying that.
Oh, me?
Cock. It says your head just says cock after.
Wait.
When you move,
There we go.
right
there
there.
we go.
No, it's you lean forward enough, it just says cock.
There we go. Nice.
Anyways,
Okay.
go ahead.
So I am Kyle Kidman, Kyle Schneider, whatever you want to call me.
Yep, and I'm Richie Pepperfield, whatever you else want to call me, shithead, whatever.
Oh, okay.
And I'm Jack.
And just Jack over there.
Just
Jack.
Jack.
Your three hosts.
He's
here
got
on the
he's got the
video
Ellen
game
vibes over here, and
Yeah.
just Ellen.
podcast. Just
Just
Ellen, yeah.
Ellen.
He's
Not
just
Bill
Jack.
Nye, the science guy. Nothing. Okay.
All right, so let's hop directly into this episode 8. We're getting up to 10. We're almost there.
Mhm.
So hopping right in, Jack. Surprisingly, I hopped into this Google Keep that we all have, and I was like, maybe I was drunk one night and put a bunch of news in here, but I don't think so. And then I realized that you were the one that put all this news in here. So,
Yes.
Jack, what do we have going on in the video game world? What news we got?
First one, and I think the biggest one for all of us more than likely, is Star Wars Squadrons. Both
Okay.
just got a release date, and we got a gameplay trailer earlier today.
Mhm.
I think the gameplay looks great. I think it's definitely an evolved version of the usual Star Wars like flight combat that we've gotten from the past Battlefront games.
Mhm.
But I don't know, I'm pretty excited for it. And it's coming out this year, which I found to be pretty surprising.
Yeah, I think it's October 2nd, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm not I've obviously made it very known to you. Please stop slapping your headphones. I've made it pretty known to you. I'm not never been big on the Star Wars flying. I've never really been into it in Battlefront or in the games. But I am gonna pick it up. It is cheaper. It's only $40 instead of $60. So eventually I will pick it up.
Why?
What do you mean why? Why it's $40?
Is it not a complete game? Is it just a multiplayer or?
No, there's a story mode and there's multiplayer. I don't know. Maybe they just decided to make it $40. I don't know. It is kind of alarming because normally it is $60. So when you do see a game that's at a lower price tag, it is kind of alarming because then
It's usually you're not getting a full game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know what maybe they have a plan or something like that. But yeah, it's only $40, which is
What
definitely
if-
kind of weird.
What if it's like some of these games where they are free games and pretty much the incentive is to buy in during the game?
That's what I was thinking. Maybe
Give
there's
you a cheaper-
maybe there's something like that. But I don't know. With EA's history of microtransactions, they may want to steer clear of that. Because
We'll see.
Battlefront 2 had a whole big situation with microtransactions. But I will pick up the game. Shout out to Harrison Dua from Star Wars Rebels who has shown up
Yes.
in the game. I'm pretty happy about that. Jack, that's Jack's favorite Rebels character. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Obviously, I love when Star Wars ties everything in like that. But yeah, the gameplay did look pretty fun. The story looks pretty fun. The characters in general look pretty badass. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'll end up picking it up. I'm more sure Peps will end up picking it up on a Black Friday purchase.
Sounds like it.
Especially if it's starting at $40, he'll get it by November at like $5. He'll find a way.
hoping.
He'll
One
find a
can
way.
only hope.
All right. So what's up? What's next, Jack?
Next up, Fortnite Season 3 of Chapter 2 just dropped, like a few days ago
A
or
few
so?
days ago, yeah. Which is interesting because yesterday I texted Jack and said, "Hey, you wanna check out the new Fortnite season?" And the only response I got was no,
No.
or not really.
No.
Nope.
So
I don't care.
I went
don't
in.
care.
I went in solo and I checked out. I played a few games last night. Yeah, they each. I mean, Jack knows this. Peps doesn't play Fortnite, so he doesn't really know.
No.
But
Terrible.
each season they obviously change up a good amount of stuff. So this season is definitely changed up. It's almost like everything is almost submerged in water. It's more water based than it is land based. I'd say like you spend more time in the water than you ever have. Hello, cat.
We have our fourth host now.
Yes.
Her name is
It's the cat
Evie.
from the
Evie?
PS5 game, the
Yeah,
upcoming PS5
you can see her.
game.
She's very glitchy.
Mm.
She's not actually
Yeah.
real. No, but her name is Evie from a video game, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. And from Pokemon.
Kind of ties
Yeah,
in.
I was thinking Pokemon.
And
Well, it's
professional
EVI
wrestler Dakota
or
Kai's
EVIE.
original wrestling name as well.
Yeah, but it's not EEVEE.
Mm.
It's
So-
Evie Fry.
Fortnite Season 3, like Jack said, I played it. Pretty fun. Last season they introduced Deadpool into the game as he's like the extra Battle Pass skin. This season, Arthur Curry, Aquaman is the extra skin that they put in, which makes sense because everything's kind of water based. So I'm not a big Aquaman guy, but I really enjoy when they put those IP skins into the game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I played a little bit. It was pretty fun.
All right, next up, Kingdom Hearts dropped some news. We got a few new games coming out for that. We got Union X, which is going to be like a phone game kind of thing. They're releasing the Kingdom Hearts 3 soundtrack later this year.
Okay.
We also have Melody of Memory, which is going to be like a rhythm-based game. And there's other stuff coming later down the year. We'll just have to wait and see what happens.
So basically everything but a actual Kingdom Hearts game.
Pretty much, yeah. hopefully
That's
later
fine.
down the line we'll get like news of an actual game coming out. Maybe Sora coming to Smash. That's what I've always wanted, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Okay.
It's pretty much just a 2020 roadmap.
Yeah. All right.
Next up, Pokemon also released or announced a few games. First off, we got Smile, which is going to be like a toothbrushing kind of game.
What did you say?
It's a game where it's on your phone, right? And
Okay.
as you're brushing your teeth, you're like fighting off Pokemon, catching Pokemon and stuff like that. It's
Okay.
very odd, but I guess
It sounds like a new way for kids to learn how to brush their teeth.
exactly. That's pretty much just what it is, but with Pokemon.
All right. Well,
So I
we're gonna
guess
have to
Nintendo.
we're gonna have to make a whole video on Jack trying that game out when it comes out.
I'll be using it twice a day, every day. That's
Yes.
gonna be my new way to brush my
Yes.
teeth.
Okay.
Cafe Mix is gonna be like a puzzle game where you're working in a cafe. Pokemon are gonna be helping you out. You're gonna be solving puzzles and stuff like that.
All right.
The next one, which is a pretty big one for I think probably most of us because it's such a classic one, is they're bringing back Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know, is like you go around and you take pictures of Pokemon, stuff like that, doing either funny things or cool things and stuff like that. Pretty interesting concept. I think we're all pretty hyped about that.
I have the original one for the 64.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
So it is a fun game.
Isle of Armor is the new DLC that they just dropped for Sword and Shield, the current Pokemon game out.
Okay.
Looks pretty good. They added a few new Pokemon, a few new characters, new story, all that kind of jazz. So that looks pretty cool.
Cool.
And we're getting some more news next week on the 24th about a big project that they said
Good.
we don't really know much about it, but we're going to see.
All right. Sounds good.
I think the next one you're probably more keen on knowing than me.
Okay, so yeah, there's a Mafia remake which I have not. I think Peps and I kind of discussed before on the podcast, but I have not been keeping up. But I do know it's like a remake, but like it's a remaster, but it's also a remake. So I think maybe it's in the same city and same map as like Mafia 2, but it's like a brand new game. Like it's a new character and stuff. I think. So yeah, I can't give too much on that, but I'll look into it next week. I'll give some more info on that as well. Biggest news for me this week, and for a lot of people, Skate 4 officially announced. We've been waiting for years and years and years for a Skate 4, and we've had so many hopes. Jack and I have watched so many fucking conferences and stuff where we see a skating game, and we're like, this is it,
Dude,
Jack.
that one year, like a
Oh
few
my
years
God.
back when they announced Session or whatever the hell it was called,
Yep.
and we thought everybody in the whole world thought it was Skate 4. Nope, just
Yep.
some other random skate
Yep.
game. We all got
Absolutely
super
horrible.
mad.
Even recently they did one where there was a trailer that dropped for a skating game which looked very similar to the skate games but is not the skate games. But in the EA Play where they showed off the Star Wars Squadron stuff, they also announced that technically we don't know if it's Skate 4. It's either Skate 4 or they're remaking the skate, like they're redoing the skate like franchise and rebooting it. Hopefully it's Skate 4, but I'll be okay if they reboot it. But yeah, everybody's excited for that. I'm really excited for that, and I cannot wait. And the last piece of news we have, obviously, this past week has been a very, very big week for PS4 and PS5 and PS3 and PS2 fans because of the fact that we finally got information on the PS5. Not going to go into detail on that. Jack and I did a whole literally bonus podcast just about the PS5. So if you want to learn more about that, go check that out. But when they did do that, the first game they announced was very disappointing, and Jack and I had a heart attack, and then was really upset when we thought GTA 6 was coming, and it ended up being GTA 5 coming to the PS5.
When you see that Rockstar logo, and the next thing you hear is Michael just going, "Why'd I move here?" It's just like, why am I here? Why am I here?
It's amazing to think a game went from the PS3 to the PS4 to the PS5, and it's like, wait, you're spending time working on bringing a PS3 game essentially now to the next console, instead of giving me like, what was the one that I told you about, like the biker crew, and was it the Battle of Gay Tony, like the multi-pack for, was that 4, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather something like that where it's in the same game but different storylines from different people than give us same Michael and Trevor. Like, say they're there, but give us something I can expand upon it, that I can be like, okay, I still like this game, and give me a reason that's better versus probably just making it cleaner and different.
The way I looked at it was obviously very disappointed we did not get GTA. I almost said Skate 6, GTA 6 announced. But in a sense, GTA 6 has kind of already been announced because there's been people that have talked about working on it, and so we know it's coming, right? So the way, obviously, again, as upsetting as it was, I think the way they looked at it is GTA 6 isn't ready for them to put out. Obviously, they're still working hard because they have the biggest weight on their shoulder because they have to make literally the greatest game of all time. So I think the way they looked at it was put GTA 5 on the PS5 because everybody's going to grab a PS5, and so that they can play GTA. And like Peps, you said, when you get the new console, you're not going to go back to the old console to play GTA. You know what I'm saying? So I think the way they looked at it as well, so people don't have to go back to playing the PS4, put it on the PS5 so they can play GTA on their new consoles, and then probably in a year or a year and a half, we'll finally get an announcement, an official announcement or a trailer. So it's definitely coming. I just think I hated that we got played like that, but I think that was their game plan, was they wanted to get it, get that out there so people aren't playing on the old console. But that wasn't even the piece of news I wanted to say. The piece of news I did want to say was after that GTA 5 announcement, they announced Spider-Man Miles Morales, which, again, Jack and I flipped out about. And now we found out that is not a full game. It's not Spider-Man 2. Obviously, again, we know Spider-Man 2 is coming, but Miles Morales is not Spider-Man 2. This is kind of similar to the GTA thing. They are releasing Spider-Man PS4, but on the PS5, and this is kind of a expansion in that game. So yeah, it's not a full game. It's kind of like a DLC for this PS5 version of Spider-Man, which is smart because now they've found a way to sell those copies for sure. Because everybody's going to want to get Spider-Man PS4 on the PS5 so that they can play this Miles Morales.
I wonder if
it's not a full game.
Because the PS5 has backwards compatibility, I'm pretty sure. I wonder if you could just put in Spider-Man PS4 in the PS5 and just be able to play the Miles Morales DLC right there.
Jack, if you think they're gonna let you do that, hold on, you are sadly mistaken, my friend.
When I talked about the Vigilante 8 game, it was just me and you, right?
Yes.
So, Jack, speaking of I think it's kind of like that. I just want to put this in. There was a game, Vigilante 8, that's like Twisted Metal for PlayStation 1. Mm-hmm. There was a sequel. At some point, I forget how it worked, but you could put the original PS1 game in, open the thing, put your not your PS2, but your the sequel game for PS1 in, and then when you load it up that way, you gain the music from that thing and the levels for multiplayer split screen. And it blows my mind that a PS1, for some reason, could do that. And that's the only game I've ever heard of being able to put one game in, wait, open the thing, take it out, put a different disc in, that's the sequel, and it loads up things.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it was and I haven't heard of anything since. And how
the only thing I've heard of that's kind of similar to that, well, not heard of, but I've known of, was in SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 when they came out with the PSP edition. Jake the Snake Roberts was in the PSP edition, but he wasn't in the PS2 version. But it was like if you had your PSP and you had the disc in the PSP, if you connected it to your PS2, you would unlock him in the PS2 version. So that's the only thing that's kind of similar. But even then, that's not putting a disc from one console. That's literally using a cord to connect them,
And then putting the other disc in. It's like how that system. It would make sense if the system at least was like the original Xbox, where it had its own internal hard drive, or the memory card that you put in, like actually put that onto like it saved that, but you had to do that every time.
Yeah.
And like really didn't make sense. It's almost like you start a game and you stopped it, and it's like put this in before the menu starts, and like I still can't process it. You can see on the Wikipedia page it says something about doing that. I'm like, how did that work?
Yeah, definitely really weird and way before its time, for sure.
And still doesn't work that way for
Yeah.
anything.
So
I'll get you water. Shut up.
moving forward, Peps. Speaking of GTA, as you had mentioned before, what is our game showcase this week?
Oh, so our game showcase is Grand Theft Auto 4, a game that when it came out was my GTA 5, like I think for you guys, because I remember nothing was like it. The only thing that, well, we'll get into the showcase. So that game was awesome. Let's talk about it.
Okay, all right.
Because I don't want to go hard into it. I just
it.
want to
No, for
throw
sure.
it out there.
No, we're talking about when we say GTA 4, we're talking about GTA 4 and the Ballad of Gay Tony and the Lost of the Dam. We're talking about all of it. So,
Yeah.
for me personally, I legitimately did not actually play GTA 4 until about a year ago. I always had, so by the time I was allowed to like really kind of play GTA, was when the it was the time that those DLCs were already out. So at my dad's shop, he had the disc that didn't have GTA 4 in it, but it had the 2 DLCs on it. So that's what I always had. So technically I did play GTA 4, but I never played the Nico Bellic original version of GTA 4. I always played the Ballad of Gay Tony. I always liked that more because you had the nightclub aspect, you had the fast cars. I didn't necessarily care too much for Lost in the Dam because you almost every mission you had to be on a motorcycle and stuff like that. So yeah, Ballad of Gay Tony was really my GTA 4. That's really what I played.
I played the original GTA 4. I don't think I got it around release because I was probably like very young at that time. But like I think I remember like, yeah, no, I definitely didn't play it when I was 8 years old. But I definitely remember playing it like when I was maybe like a preteen or something like that. And that was like my first GTA, so that was like my new experience.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the hell out of it. I hadn't beat it, and I still haven't beat it to this day. But like I've played through most of it.
Okay.
But at that time when I was a preteen, like I didn't have the DLCs or anything like that, like you did. But like I got like a good way through it, and it was definitely one of the more like fun games that I remember playing like back at that young of an age.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think I beat that game, to be honest.
The
It's
original?
almost interesting to go. No, GTA 4.
That's what.
No. Yeah. No, I'm just saying, yeah, because I definitely beat like GTA 3. I almost beat Vice City, except for there was like one mission where you had to like jump from building to building with the motorcycle, and I was like, I'm done. I beat San Andreas, I think maybe once or twice. That maybe was a game I played twice. But this one, I think I never got to. I think I might have had a broken memory card, and then I was like, I'm done. I'm not playing this again. Like I got so far, and it was a good. I mean, I played it. What year did that come out?
2008.
2008. I do remember getting in, just being amazed with the graphics. Like the rain seemed real, the cars looked great.
Yeah.
I think New York looks really good. The only issue I really had was no customization of vehicles, and the fact that you really didn't have a garage. You had like a parking space. Like I get it's New York, so like realistically, it makes sense to me. But it's like you would see cars
you
like
could fit like 2 cars in the spot.
Yeah, I would try to cram like a third one,
cram
and
like a motorcycle in there.
Yep.
Every time I would try and put 2 cars in a motorcycle, and the motorcycle would always disappear because it wouldn't register it.
There's times I lost 2 cars that way. I'm like, damn it. And I'm like, how can I not customize it when the game before had it and the game after had it?
Yeah.
And like, I was like, even if it was minor stuff, like it was just like, because some games, like I think like the one of the Saints Row 2, you could do like construction vehicles, and then 3 you couldn't. I was like, well, I miss putting rims on a front loader or something. So like, I understood if it was like maybe basic and I couldn't do all like the imports or low riders. But that was the fun thing about getting it in 5. But in this game, like it was a knock for me. And I would see Escalades with like subwoofers in the back. So I'm like, all right, I'm always going to take that vehicle or something because it has already built-in add-ons.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Peps is a very big car guy. Loves cars.
Well, it makes the game. I mean, the game is literally about.
I'm saying in a general sense, in real life, you love cars.
Yeah, no, I love cars. So like I mean, ever since we were younger, we were talking about the original games and stuff of like hoping to play them and we used to have to sneak to play, GTA 3 or Vice City. Like our parents, like just like you told I think on the last podcast about having to play with the music off. I had to like sneak it over to friends' houses because like, can you please bring it over? This title came out when I was 18,
Please,
so
please.
it would be a code name. It would be like when we talked about the Boog and stuff, you know? It would be
Bring
that-
over Clucking Belfort.
No, so everyone really liked Vice City, so we talked about bring over BC.
Okay.
So that's what we called it. Before I was 18, so it was different, and it was a solid game. I think about the soundtrack was so good. I remember actually downloading the soundtrack, just like I did with San Andreas, but the soundtrack actually with like the DJ in it. So like when I could put it together in a CD in my car, it would just go through and be solid and that be like streamlined, and you would hear him like be like, I'm from Broker, you're from Broker, we're all cool, and now here's Jada Kiss. Like it would just I'd be like, now I feel like I'm in the game. So like I was kind of a mark for it.
For sure. I will say, so for me, I love New York. It's my favorite state. I love the city. So being able to play a video game where you literally have the whole, you have all of New York pretty much at your expense was really fun. And for anybody that hasn't played this game, you definitely need to, because going to Times Square in that game is definitely an experience. It's definitely a really cool video game experience. Is like looking up at all the billboards and stuff. So yeah, that was always my favorite part. Every time I played, I always ended up in Times Square at some point.
I want to piggyback off of what Pepperfield said with the radio and stuff like that. I think it definitely has one of the better GTA soundtracks. Like I still to this day, like when I used to play it, I used to love jazz and stuff like that, and they had this jazz station.
Yeah,
and
Jack
like,
went through a jazz phase in his
I
life.
went through a jazz phase, bro.
The funny thing is, he says that, but there was times where it could be Saints Row, it could have been old GTA. I would steal like a nice luxury car, and it'd be playing jazz, and I would let play out for like a song.
It's good.
Like,
it's good stuff.
I'd be like, this is what that old rich man motherfucker was listening to, and I was like, you know what? I'll play for it.
Yeah, non video game story real fast. When Jack was going through his jazz phase, we were leaving something. We were leaving some show at like the Amalie Arena or something like that. It was me, his family, and our grandmother, Chancellor Palpatine herself. And yeah, Jack was going through his jazz phase, and I remember for his birthday, our grandmother got him a Michael Bublé CD, and she asked him when we were walking back to the car from this event, she asked him if he had listened to his CD, and yeah, this kid went on the whole walk just going on and on about this Michael Bublé CD that he got.
I used to be a big Michael Bublé fan. Now, not really so much.
No, he's good. I love him. He's great. Okay.
Kyle likes his Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, but anyways, like whenever I like hear we'll play jazz in the kitchen whenever we're like making food or something like that, and there will be like a time where a song comes on that was in that game, and I'm like, oh, right, I'm back in GTA 4.
Jack loves a nice GTA 4 jazz soundtrack, some nice fine wine and some cheese.
I love that jazz soundtrack. Another thing I want to add on to is the online multiplayer. That was like one of my few first online multiplayer experiences and stuff like that. Oh my god, that was so much fun.
Which is funny too, because I didn't like it. So limited in reality.
It's so limited, but
you literally can do nothing but like run around and kill each other.
That's really the imagination. That's what really fuels the fun in GTA 4 multiplayer.
Right, well, I think you guys didn't really have first-hand experience with the older games, right? Like you didn't play really GTA 3 and Vice City.
I played Vice City. I recently played
Andreas.
So for me, Vice City was the game that I could play with no sound on. Other than that, the only other game like that I remember playing until GTA 5 was or GTA 4 was Saints Row. So I only played like Vice City.
When we grew up on
I've played all of them at this point. Now that I'm an adult, I haven't played all of them through, but I have all the from 3, Vice City, San Andreas, 4, the DLCs, and 5.
Well, I'm saying so when we grew up and we played each one 3, and then Vice City came out, we bought Vice City, and then the next one came out San Andreas came out, which I believe was 04. We always were like, oh, how cool would it be if it had a way that I could help you and like Saints Row cooperatively play something, or we could just both be in the same area and play. And then obviously you get that with 4, but I kind of had internet, kind of was going to moving to Florida, and it was one of those things I didn't really love it. I was like, okay, you can go to one area and just mosh and kind of just mayhem. So I really was I'm just getting blown up and dying left and right, and then I'm out in front of the airport, so I didn't care for it. But then obviously the previous one, not this one, but the one afterwards, kind of fixed all of it, even though I don't like it now. But I think 4's internet thing was insane.
For sure, yeah. Like Jack said, for me, that was one of my first online experiences, and at that time it was like 2013, so I was like kind of a teenager, and yeah, just like 2012, 2013. Yeah, I was like teenager, so you didn't need too much. You can use your imagination, and in reality, you were just going in. Like even in GTA 5 now, you can be in a thing with your friends, but eventually you're gonna blow each other up and kill each other.
Always.
So that was the fun. Was yeah, the imagination of being in that area and coming up with all that stuff. So me and my friends would definitely, that was like the game we played until GTA 5.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I liked, like I said, I was more Ballad of Tony, but more recently I actually played all the way through on GTA 4. I liked the story. I never really cared for Nico. I think that's kind of common amongst most GTA fans. Like he's kind of the weakest main character out of every main character.
Mhm.
A lot of people were not the biggest fan of him just because he was like he was legitimately just like a mass murderer. Like he didn't care. His personality just wasn't too great. And
He was
stuff.
a bad Trevor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a sense, yeah. Especially when we got Trevor and we're just like, this guy is insane and he's fun and awesome. But the story itself was fun. But yeah, like I said, I was more Ballad of Tony, and I think that's a better story just because I love that you have the access to like the nicer cars almost right off the bat, and you have the nightclubs added in that you can go into and dance and do missions for. So Ballad of Tony was always mine. And in reality, I don't think I ever actually beat Ballad of Tony because I was young and
I
didn't really
didn't
play
either.
it through.
I beat it.
Okay, so I think when I played GTA 4, that was my like I was doing that one next, and I just kind of veered off the road. So I might have to get back into it. But yeah, that was always the one I played. But it's funny too because when I played GTA 4, it actually shows you how limited the DLCs are because there's a lot of stuff in the DLC in the original game that's not in the DLCs.
Mhm.
There's a lot of features and like little side things that you can't do within the DLCs that you can do in the normal game. So that was fun to discover. Like in the oh no, never mind. Yeah. So GTA 4 was obviously always fun, and I'm trying to think of some more things within it that we can talk about. So if you guys have any ideas here.
I remember the Ballad of Gay Tony definitely being just like more entertaining, more fun than the like original story mode, better characters, and even just like the look of the game. Like with like the
Mhm.
original game, there's like it's like gray and stuff like that, but this one actually
I
has
was
like
gonna say
color and stuff like that. It
yeah,
actually pops out. It looks fun to play.
which
Yeah.
is probably a complaint people had that they fixed with the DLCs because when you do play GTA 4, it feels like there's just a constant state
Gray
of
cloud.
fog within the whole city as you're playing.
Mhm.
I did notice that. I was like, wow, the
Well,
city
it's supposed to be New
is a
York.
shit, like kind of a shitty place, but like it ain't that color
Ain't
washed in
that
a
bad.
sense. Yeah, but I understand what they were going for. But yeah, the DLCs definitely had a lot more color to them.
You guys remember in the Statue of Liberty there was that giant heart and you
Giant
could like
heart,
climb up through it?
yeah,
Yeah.
the Easter egg. I don't know if Peps knows about that, but
Probably not.
in
Or
the
probably
statue
it
of
did and I forgot.
in the Statue of Happiness, which is really the Statue of Liberty, there was like an Easter egg you can climb up in it, and when you got in it, there was like a heart that had a bunch of like chains on it and stuff, which is kind of weird when you really think about it. But
Right.
and the Statue of Happiness, I feel like it got changed, but originally it was supposed to be Hillary Clinton's face or something like that. But I think they showed it in some gameplay, and then they Hillary Clinton's team jumped on, so I think they had to switch it. But originally there's photos from some like gameplay show or something like that where it's legitimately Hillary Clinton's face, which is pretty funny.
Younger Hillary Clinton, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. So yeah, GTA 4. I loved one of my favorite things to do in the game was as you can tell by my background was go into the restaurants. That was always fun. Just to look at the little details, like when you went in Clucking Bell and they had like the the display case that had like the Happy Meal toy in it, and I was like, that's so cool, like such a cool little detail.
Mhm.
So this was always my go-to Clucking Bell was the one in like Times Square. Just because again I always eventually ended up there, so I would go into this Clucking Bell to slowly kill my main character with that crazy like 18 patty cheeseburger or whatever it is. So yeah, Peps, what do you got anything else to say with like the cars in the game? Obviously, you're a big car guy, so
Well, so the cool thing is obviously and I think we all like this, that they base most of their cars on real life cars, but they like rebrand them as their own. So like you go in there, you grab a Cadillac, but after a while, like you start knowing the brands. Like you're saying, like there's a restaurant, and it's just in the next game. It's the next game. It goes down to even like when you're in San Andreas, and they had like they had a baseball team and like everything, but the cars. I always love grabbing the Escalades, the Corvettes, which I think the Corvettes are like the Banshee, but I think that's more. You see it even better in the next game where they keep adding cars and making the brands mean more, because I feel like we used to always get the. Remember when you go to the store and you actually get the little book so you could actually see like the stats on the cars and see everything, and you'd be like, oh, that's this one, that's this, and that's that. Let me get the Hummer. Let me get the Bug. Like, I think they do a really good job with putting like real life vehicles, rebranding them, like clear as day. It's like Dr. Pepper, Dr. Thunder kind of deal. Like it is what it is, but it's named something else. So
I don't know if you noticed, but I think it's the Infernus, which is like the fastest car in the game. The tail lights are Pokeballs.
Are they?
Yeah, which was a cool little Easter egg
thing,
which I always like
dropped in there.
Thought of like I was like, oh, they look like Pokeballs, but then it kind of. I don't think it's like Rockstar said it's like a thing, but I think it's so far that everybody looked at it the same way. So now it's just kind of a thing that everybody's like, yeah, it's Pokeball headlights or
I
taillights.
have to look at that now.
But yeah, that's one thing I always loved about GTA, just the franchise in general, was the fact that they legitimately push their actual brands in the game. Like I know when GTA 5 came out, they made like a real life Invader site, which is their like rip off Facebook. And you were able to go on and like you can look at all the different company pages and different like character pages for like Franklin's aunt and stuff like that. So they've always been really good on pushing their like actual in-game like brands. Even like they'll sell merchandise for like bug stars from GTA 5 and things like that on their website, which I always really liked. So that's one thing I always loved was the in-game brands and comparing them, as like some people will say they like Clucking Bell more, and some people will say they like Burger Shot more. You know.
Well, yeah, and I like how they just transcend from game to game. It's not just like, oh, that was.
And yeah, they don't. Yeah, they carry everything over and into the new maps and stuff. They're not just making a new thing, for the next
they
game.
don't go,
carry
oh, well, this game's in California now. Forget about what was over in New York. No, it like stays over, and you're like, I grew up with knowing Clucking Bell and everything, so it's kind of cool that like they stay true to all that stuff.
And hearing like the radio commercials when you're driving in the game about
Laszlo.
Laszlo, the king himself. But yeah, hearing the radio commercials for a Clucking Bell or something like that, where they're talking about their new triple decker chicken sandwich or something like that, and you're just like, that's just adds so much immersiveness to the game, that they do stuff like that. So that's something not just about GTA 4, about GTA overall was that. And speaking of GTA overall, like you kind of mentioned, I always loved when you get the game, they always have a map that comes with the game. And even in the map, they'll have advertisements for like a strip club or for Clucking Bell and stuff. And you're just like, this is so cool that like you have a map, a legitimate map for the game, and you're looking at like the actual advertisement of being like, call this number to reserve your spot at this fancy restaurant or something like that you'll find in the game, So I always love that. I actually have a piece of GTA 4 merchandise. I don't even really know how I obtained it, but I have a GTA 4 lockbox. I've had it for years. I don't even think I've showed this to Jack just because I've had it. And Jack, that little it's not a dresser, that little like cabinet I have in my room?
Not really.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I have this little cabinet in my room, and the safe thing. Jack's coming over tomorrow, so I'll show it to you when you come over. But yeah, I have this little lockbox from GTA 4 in there, which is pretty cool. But I think that about wraps up our game showcase here. We have less than a minute on this meeting, so that works. So.
Yeah.
All right, so we will be right back, ladies. Okay, we're back. Here we go. All right, so yeah, that's kind of, I think, closed out our game showcase this week on GTA 4. Great game. All three of us love it. Great memories with it. Yeah. So moving forward to our what are we playing this week? On my end, still not a lot. I don't know. Most video game
just sits
players
at home and does absolutely nothing for hours on end.
Absolutely fucking nothing.
No, just I think most video game players at times feel the same way, where sometimes you just don't really want to play any video games. So I'm kind of in that phase where just don't really have any effort or want to play too many video games. Like I said, I played Fortnite last night, a few games. I did go and I kind of started playing Watch Dogs 2 again. Jack is surprised. I saw that.
I was like, okay, that's a weird one to go with for sure.
I don't know. I was kind of feeling starting something. I still have my Fallen Order stuff, but again, I recorded so much that I haven't had to play it. So I was like, all right, and I started playing Watch Dogs 2. All right, stop playing it. So hopefully maybe I'll get back into it. I'm not sure. Yeah. But interesting thing, I actually played Minecraft the other day at 4 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Jack and I's acquaintance, Lake Richards. Very weird kid. He's cool at times, but also very weird. I couldn't sleep at 4 a.m. and he kind of joined my party. So I was just like, oh, all right, I guess I'll talk to him because whenever I'm on the PS4, I'm always in a party. I just always am. So he joined my party. And I couldn't sleep, so I was like, okay, let me talk to him. And then he actually check out his Twitch. He's doing a lot of Twitch stuff, and right now he's in Minecraft. He's making Naboo in Minecraft, which is a very big task. And so when we were talking, I was like, can I see it? Like, I have Minecraft here, so can I see it? And he was like, yeah, sure. So I went into his world. He's doing Naboo and he's doing Hoth and kind of Endor at the same time. So I went in. Kid's putting in a lot of work. Like I said, he's a weird kid, but shout out to him for putting in the work because that's a lot of hard work. And I definitely don't want to see that flop because he wants to open it up for people when it's done. And I don't want it to just sit there and nobody goes through it. So definitely check it. I think it's God-Fearing Gamer or something like that on Twitch. Yeah, like I said, he is weird.
I'll pop into it. That sounds awesome.
But yeah, so I've been playing Minecraft because as most Minecraft sessions go, you might have a plan to build something, but then eventually you just start blowing a lot of stuff up with TNT. So Lake and I, after hanging out in Naboo and stuff, we decided to test the limits of the game and see how much TNT we can put in there before our game totally just shuts down. Didn't shut down, but we got pretty close. The frame rate was really, really bad for a good little bit.
Burn it.
Burn it to the ground. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been playing. Not too much, but definitely some very interesting situations in there.
So as you guys know from when we talked about like a few video game talks ago, Battlefront 2 and Call of Duty came out for free on PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Since I've already played a bunch of Battlefront 2, I've been getting into Call of Duty.
Good.
And
which
you know how it is. It's like you play one Call of Duty, you've pretty much played most of them.
Yeah.
So I've been able to use my past skill on this game, and I've been doing pretty good actually.
Okay.
Good.
That story mode
up to like level 20 and stuff like that.
That story mode is definitely my probably my favorite Call of Duty story mode. I really enjoyed that story mode.
I didn't get past D-Day, I beat D-Day, but that's pretty much all I've gotten into. I've pretty much just been playing multiplayer most of the time.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to jump back in that story because I really enjoyed the story mode. I think Peps did as well.
For WWE2?
Yeah, I thought you said WWE 2, and I was like, what?
No, WWE2. No,
Yes.
no, it's a good one, but I obviously preferred MW2 the most.
Okay.
Oh. Wait.
Which one do I like more? I don't know.
I can't remember if it's Modern Warfare or Modern Warfare 2. It's the one where the guy betrays you, and you're like, oh.
I think that's 2. I don't know.
I don't remember.
It's the one when it loads up. It does the whole thing with Chernobyl, and it's like 60,000 people used to live. It was like 60,000 people used to live here.
Okay.
It's like a weird, almost intro.
Well, I really, for me, I really love when they put actors into video games, and World War II put Josh Duhamel, who's not the most famous actor, but he was in Transformers, and he was.
Hey, don't you knock him? He was on Holy Moly tonight.
Okay, no, I love him. That's why I'm just saying he's not.
Rob Riggle has a man crush on him.
He's not in like the craziest amount of movies, but they put him in the game as like the captain or whatever of your squad. So I really that added to the game is seeing an actor that I really really like.
They always add like one person I think to every game because when they had Christopher Maloney, which was awesome. I think that was like Advanced Warfare or I think it was Advanced because I really hated the game, but I only played the story mode because right away I was like, oh, he's in it. Cool. And he's like your mentor, at least as far as I got. He was like helping you through everything.
Okay. Peps, what are you playing?
I've been wanting to play things. I actually have like a desire, unlike you, like where you're like, oh, which I know what you're talking about. There's times I've opened my entertainment center and I sit there and I literally look at everything going, I want to play that, but I really don't want to play that. Like if I put in that, I'm committed for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then I don't. And then do I want to play Call of Duty, or do I want to sit there and like play like mindless, which I love to do that, mindless games for the next hour of just TDM. Up, I sucked. Let me jump out of this lobby, jump in a new one. So the only thing that I've been playing consistently is the American Dad mobile game. Which
Peps is
have you
frozen.
ever talked about your update of playing your Disney one?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I mean, I'm in like this Star Wars. So I have that Star Wars card trader app that I really enjoy. And I'm in a group, so hopefully nobody from the group, because I don't know if this is like a thing you're not supposed to do. But I have my phone, and I have my old phone, and I have an iPad. So I was like, well, I can be smart here, and I can make 3 different accounts, so that way I can pretty much get whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? Like every day you get 15,000 credits. So 15,000 credits on 3 accounts. I'm gonna get pretty much anything I want within the game, and then just trade it all to my main account. So hopefully nobody hears that, because I don't think that's supposed to be a thing. So that's what I've been doing on the Star Wars one, and the I don't know what you're pointing at. You're pointing in the
Your
wrong
screen
way.
has been
Okay.
frozen for
Yeah.
like 2 minutes, man.
Yeah. On our end, you weren't moving at all. So
Oh,
me and
okay.
Jack are like,
We're like,
Oh, my
I
bad.
could tell
my
that me and him both recognized that we were moving, and I was like trying to
Yeah.
figure out which way you were for my recording. So I was like, "Are you this way?"
Yeah, well, I'm recording, so I was fine the whole time. You guys just look like idiots pointing at nothing.
Yeah. Now
So
we
We're
told
like
people what we were
touching each
pointing
other's
for.
fingers or
there you
something.
go.
Yeah, Jack's like,
Peps is freezing over on my side though.
yeah,
I will
it's,
say
it's
that.
your boo-boo internet.
Sure. Now you got me lost. I'm off track here.
Well,
Okay,
I thought
so
you were gonna.
I can get whatever I want, and then I trade it all to my main account pretty much. So I've been doing that with the Star Wars one and the WWE one, because WWE has one. So I've been going hardcore in those, for sure, getting a bunch of cards and stuff.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Done with my statement.
I thought his audio froze now. I was
Yeah,
like,
too.
oh.
I was like,
first video,
okay.
now audio. Okay.
See, now Peps is frozen on my end.
Oh,
it
am
wasn't.
I up now?
Didn't move.
Well, I need to get on the
No,
notes.
Jack's been good the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I literally am sitting next to the modem, so
Okay.
ain't me, dog.
Well, another thing I need is for a while Peps was putting over Mad Max the video game.
Oh yes.
And so I think I went over to your house at one point and I played a little bit of it because you were playing, like we had a show or something.
It was wasn't it the day we went to Hollywood Studios the next day? And you said you played it.
Maybe
I
I'm
like
not
passed
sure.
out on the couch.
No, that wasn't it. We were going to a show or something, because I came over during the day and you were playing it and you were like, well, I'm gonna go get ready, but if you want to fuck around in the game, feel free.
Oh, that makes more sense, because I'm like, I'm stuck and I can't get anywhere, so unlock shit for me.
Yeah. So after that, I would wander the game, but the game was still kind of expensive. At some point, I found it at GameStop a couple months ago for $20. And this is the funny part, and Peps, I know you've done this for sure. This is one of those games where I bought it, wanted to play it, and I legitimately have not even touched it since I purchased it.
No, that's the game you're talking about right now, about having Watch Dogs 2. I bought that for Black Friday, maybe 2 years ago. Still have not played the game.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't value paying for them new, because I'm like, I'll buy them even at a discount rate, and then I still won't get around to playing them.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been sitting there. So I have to definitely get into that at some point for sure. But yeah, that's what we're playing. So Jack, bring it on to the next segment.
All right. Next time we got is video game memory. I'll start off. This is a pretty one. It's still on Kyle's channel, I'm pretty sure, his like old channel. So one day we're playing
man.
GTA, me and him.
Online, GTA Online.
Yep, GTA Online. And we're in our like superhero gimmicks and whatnot. I'm Bearman. I think you were like a dinosaur at the time or something like that. It's changed a few times, your superhero gimmick in GTA Online.
Yeah. This throws back to the imagination situation that we were talking about.
But anyways, I remember we were in like a cargo bob or something, and then we like jumped out of it, and I landed on the ground. You landed on the Maze Bank building.
Yes.
And so you were like, all right, you got to pick me up, get a helicopter or something. I'm like, okay, I'll go get a helicopter. And so
oh,
I go to get a helicopter. It takes me like 10 minutes to get this helicopter. I fly over. I'm like, Kyle, you need to shoot some flares. And he shoots like one flare into the air. And I'm like, okay, but where on the building are you? You keep shooting flares. And he didn't realize that instead of pulling out a flare gun, he just pulled out a legitimate pistol and one shot headshot me through the window of the helicopter. And it crashed right into the side of the building. And at the same time, he's like, no, 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 no.
Jack's reaction to the situation was one of the funniest things I've ever
Oh
seen.
my God.
He was just at first he didn't understand it was an accident. He was like, "Why would you do that, you idiot?" And I'm just like, "No, it was an accident." And he's like, "Oh, come on, man! Like, what? It took so long to get the damn cargo bob and get."
And then like the next 30 seconds, we were just dying laughing.
Yes, so I'm gonna have to, like I did with that rage quit. I'm gonna have to put that clip before as the cold open to this podcast because
oh my God,
that was hilarious.
So
or if you want to watch
hilarious.
the whole video is up on my actual YouTube channel. Which
please go watch it. It's one of my favorite GTA videos.
My YouTube channel, along with Peps' YouTube channel, are pinned on the homepage of this YouTube channel. So the Guys of the Galaxy YouTube channel. So
I apologize for anything you may or may not come across on that.
Yeah, Peps' channel is really random and has a bunch of random shit on it.
It's old.
Yeah.
So the original things go way.
Yeah, so if you want to see some more gameplay and stuff, check out my actual channel. If you want to see some random things that Peps probably doesn't even understand that he uploaded, check out his channel.
No, so the main thing is I have no shame and I don't care. So like most of the stuff that like some people would be like, you gotta take that down, like you this and that. It's like, no, I think it's hilarious. That's who I was at one point. There's times I had friends like that weren't in wrestling and I'm like, hey, I think you're kind of like this. I'm gonna make you a Titantron, and we would film different stuff. With my dog moves, so I can stretch out now, and I'd make a Titantron, or we would take turns building potato launchers and shooting that. So
you good?
Well, I just realized that speaking of Peps' Titantrons, if you actually go on his channel, you can find the first ever Richie Pepperfield Titantron, and it's hilarious because it's him in his tropics costume.
In the garage.
In the garage, blowing into a security like yellow or orange cone. I mean, and it's going in between him doing that, and then a random photo of the sign that says "Welcome to Newport Richie."
Well, I know. So I know this is not the wrestling podcast, but in all fairness, it's when we were starting to do backyard wrestling, and we were like, "Let's build Titantrons," and I thought it would be fine because he was like the tropics and stuff, and the jobber that to like have him out of Newport Richie. I lived in Newport Richie, and I don't know why that. I could have made like Clearwater Beach, but I made it the sign that you see on Main Street.
I
saw some video of it.
Newport Richie.
No, it's when you're on Main Street when you're going over that bridge in Chaska or whatever. So
absolutely hilarious.
But yeah, there's videos of me getting dragged by a car in a snowstorm, on a sled, and other fun things on there as well.
Yeah, I go onto that channel every once in a while just to get some laughs because there's a lot of random funny stuff on that channel for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean there's school projects on there too. Like I mean I'm not deleting it. It's there. Memories.
Oh no, for sure. I don't think you should delete any of it. Unlike Jack, who had a YouTube channel and deleted everything.
Oh yeah.
Didn't even unlist the stuff. He legitimately just deleted every video he made.
Yep.
Which is very sad.
Oh no, if anything, I just unlisted, and it's still there. People say delete something. I'm like, I'm not deleting because then I don't have the file on my computer anymore. So
yeah, for sure.
Unlist it.
All right, Peps. What's your video game memory then?
Oh god, I don't even know. I just blanked out there.
I'm blanking too. That's why I asked you.
Yeah, thank you. I remember we had like 3 memories last week or something.
Oh, you and me, yeah.
I was like,
we went ham.
Let's save those for next week. Yeah. And now we're just like,
now we're just like, damn, what are we gonna do?
Fuck me up a rope. Damn, God, cocksucker. I don't know. Pass. Reverse. Back to Jack.
You want me to do another memory? I got another memory. Okay.
Well, you might want to write down your memory for next week because we had 3, I think, last week, and we said, well, no, you know what? That would be good. We'll save it for next week. And of course, now I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot mine as well.
I can do another memory. That's fine by me.
All right, yeah, shoot us another one just so we can.
All right,
let's do one for us this week, and we'll remember from next week.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, way back, like many years ago, when me and Kyle were starting to be like friends and stuff like that, like legitimate friends.
Oh, after the dark times.
After the dark times.
First of all, aren't you guys cousins?
Yes.
Okay. Just now proceed.
No, there
Just
was
so the people-
there was a period of time that we didn't necessarily like each other.
No.
Okay. Well, I was going to leave the audience with that.
Oh,
the fact
okay.
that you guys we weren't even friends, and it's like, aren't you guys cousins?
Around like
Okay, and
2013, 2014 is when we really became friends.
Yeah, probably around that time.
Thank you,
And
GTA
this is
5.
when
Heard.
this is when like
Oh.
we were like playing like Far Cry 3 or something like that. We were upstairs. It was you, me, and your sister Grace.
Oh no, I know where this is going. I think I may have told the story, but it's okay.
So we're like sitting in chairs and stuff like that, and we're playing, and you're like swimming around in like the ocean or something like that.
This was Christmas. I got this game for Christmas. It was Christmas night.
Was it Christmas night? I feel like
Yeah.
no. It was like
Yeah.
the middle of day when this happened.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was
I'm
Christmas
pretty
night.
sure it was the middle of the day.
Alright,
I think you're thinking
agree
of
to
Far Cry
disagree.
4.
Agree to disagree.
All right. So, anyways, we're sitting there and Cal's playing it, and he's swimming around, and he's about to get on land, and and we're like, I wonder what happens. I wonder if he's gonna get like eaten by like an alligator or something. And we're like, that's never gonna happen. 1 second later, alligator comes out of nowhere, and we're all lose our minds.
Jump
We're all
scare of the
jump
century.
scare,
Oh my
and
God.
like you like fight it off and stuff like that, and it like drives away, and like afterwards, we're all just sitting there laughing, and Rachel comes upstairs, and she's like, what are you guys laughing at? And we can't answer her because we're just too busy laughing.
No, it was the way it happened. The fact that we like called it without calling it, and the fact that it was so terrifying that the thing like mouth open just jumped at the screen and gave us like the biggest jump scare of our lives. Like it was. Oh my God. Yeah, that was definitely a good memory for
Yeah.
sure. So, Peps, what's the last segment we got?
So on here we have our wish list and coming soon. That I'm actually prepared for because
I'm not.
Oh, so well, I'll go then. So me and Kyle talked about this last night when we did our theme park podcast together. I believe that was it. Otherwise, my memory's just going, and I'm getting old. But the Planet Coaster coming to console news. I don't think we talked about that last week, right? But that was just when we talked, right?
Yeah, and they moved the
So-
release date.
So they moved the release date, and it's coming out now.
Well, there is
for-
no release date, but they moved this time it's supposed to be released.
Yeah, so now instead of summer, it's going to be holiday, which, even when I was like, it's summer now, wouldn't you have a date or start marketing? So
Yeah.
now they're saying, they probably thought all along, well, if the next consoles come out, we'll release it for the both and come out for holiday. And so holiday season, it's going to be coming out for both generations now, which is awesome because now I think I'd rather wait and buy for the PS5 if I can get it this year, just because I feel like they're going to put more of the effort and energy, especially if it's a long-term game for that console and anything, building tools and graphics, it makes more sense to get that in the newer generation versus buying it on a lesser. Even though I've heard things like Madden's doing something where if you buy it for the PS4, they give you credit for the PS5 or something like that.
Okay.
So I thought that was kind of neat that they'll do something like that so you don't buy the game twice, probably in the
Sure.
same season.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for me, I only thing that's on my like wish list slash it's not coming soon. It's already out. It's been out. But I've been procrastinating is Fire Pro Wrestling World, which is I played Fire Pro Returns on the PS2. It's very it's like kind of not 8-bit, but it's very like kind of throwback style of like kind of digital. It's not like 2K. It's not like a simulation game. It's more so like arcade-esque game, but it's like the look of an arcade-esque game, but the actual wrestling is actually some of the best wrestling you'll ever see in a video game. It's incredible, like how the animations are and stuff. So Fire Pro Wrestling World, I've been wanting to get it, but I've been procrastinating it. But now it's on the PS Store for $15 instead of like $60, which it's been at for a while. So that's my wish list. It's obviously been out for a minute, but trying to get a little bit of extra cash, and that's gonna be my next purchase. If hopefully, I don't know when the sale ends, but I'm gonna try and scoop that super soon.
Just work that OnlyFans account.
Yes, sir.
That money.
Yes,
Spread
sir.
them cheeks and get them.
Feet pics, $30. Hit me up. Hit my DMs up.
If you guys don't know, he works as son of Mike Honcho.
What?
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 I don't even know what
I
that.
thought you
What?
were trying to be funny. I said if they need to find you, it's son of Mike Honcho.
Yeah, I don't understand what that
I
means.
don't know.
Who's Mike Honcho?
God damn!
Is
you
he a
guys
guy
need to
that
watch more.
you?
Have you ever watched Talladega Nights?
No.
Oh my God! Put that on your next thing to watch. Okay, real
I'm
quick. Ricky Bobby, Will Ferrell's character, gets in a crash, and then as he's in a coma, laying there, and he's like in and out of conscious, and like and his eyes are going like this. Cal Norton Jr. What's his name from John C. Riley's character is like, hey, buddy, in case this is it, I just want to let you know that summer you went away to college, I spread my butt cheeks for Playgirl as my concho. Spread them all and everything, full spread.
Okay, so moving forward, Jack, what's on your wish list that's coming soon?
What a great segue.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. After just that gameplay reveal, probably just Star Wars Squadron. Really, that really just looks like a lot of fun. I'm a big like pilot buff and all that kind of stuff when it comes to Star Wars, like space battles, all that. So I'm really excited for that game to come out.
Which is interesting for me because I love that stuff too. I love the ships and whatnot, but I just hate playing the game. I hate playing the games. I like to watch it. I like to be in the know of all the ships and whatnot, but I just don't like controlling it, I guess. So yeah. All right. Well, I think with that said, this closes out episode 8 of the Guys of the Galaxy podcast video game talk. So thank you for watching or listening, however you choose to indulge in our podcast. We're crazy, and I think the only podcast in the world that uploads 4 podcasts every week. So make sure to check that out because we have obviously video game talk, we have nerd talk, we have wrestling talk, we have theme park talk. We're also more than a podcast. We're really boys. We're really grinding out here. We really are because we're uploading 4 podcasts a week. We're also uploading like 3
2 gameplay videos
and a Peps vlog pretty much. Like Peps just uploaded 2 theme park vlogs in the same day, along with
2 more.
As we're recording tonight, my episode 3 of Fallen Order has come out this Sunday. Jack has episode 2 of Spider-Man coming out. So yeah, we have a lot. We're more than just a podcast at this point. We're really making some content. We're really trying to grind and get a following here. So please, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe so you can look at all that awesome content. If you're on Spotify, please give us a rating and a review so we can move up in the ranks. And yeah, I'm Kyle Kidman, Josh Schneider, whatever you would like to call me.
With the rest of the merry band.
Okay. All right.
And I'm just Jack.
Yeah.
It's JJ down there.
Thank you.
JJ.
Thank you. We will see you all next week.